Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready?
Are you guys ready to get real with one
I've been
another?
ready. Yeah,
Ready.
been ready for sure.
It's been brewing in the pot for a long time. I just
Absolutely.
no, I'm totally excited. The chance to actually talk and to speak your mind
Yes.
and to be as real as we can be. I mean, not many people have an opportunity. I mean, I'm sure with their wives, with their parents or whatever. Not even your parents, you can't
Yeah.
say whatever. But here, I think we have an opportunity to really just
Dig deep.
tackle everything that is bothering us right now at this moment in time.
Well, like we were saying earlier on, let our hair down.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I'll just take my name badge off.
You have a
Okay,
name
sounds
badge
good.
under your.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Coat?
have to take that name badge
Yeah,
off.
That's the first time I've ever
you
seen
say
that.
You say let our hair down, but you know what? When I really get real, I put my hair up.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, when I'm getting real, I'm like, okay, now I'm ready. Let's go.
You know
Like-
what? You know what I do? I put my hat sideways. I put my cap backwards and I
Okay.
tilt it sideways a little bit. That's when I know I'm real.
Yes.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm just happy to be here with you and just everybody listening right now, because it's a chance for us to help them thrive through. We have such similar backgrounds, but such so many things in our lives
True.
that are so different that has brought us together to help people come out of any situation that they might be going through in their life.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it be
True.
financial, spiritual, family, security, so many things. I just can't wait to dig deep
Yeah.
with both of you and just help people pull them out of wherever they are right now and say, you know what? Let's get real. We have one life to live, and let's live it to the best of our ability today, not tomorrow, not in 2022, today.
today. Preach it, sister.
Yeah.
I love it. So true.
You feel it? I feel it when it's time.
I do. Yeah.
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 It gets me excited. To me, it's taking the filters off.
Absolutely.
Taking it, because a lot of the times I think we have the fear of talking about the things that bother us, talking about the things that we're afraid of, talking about the things that the fear of failure, all those things that we keep private because maybe we're taught from real young.
Yes.
Don't be weak, be strong, so forth, and don't show it.
It's true.
You know?
And then we're caught in our day in and day out daily method of operation, which is our careers,
Oh, yeah.
our families. But
But-
it's great to see both of you put your hair up
Yeah.
and take off your name badge.
My name best.
Exactly.
That
Next
is
time
pretty
I'll bring
cool.
the cap. I'll bring the baseball
I'm trying to
cap.
figure out what it is that I do, but I don't know. Maybe no tie. I don't know. But I'll figure it out eventually.
The
I don't-
colors?
When I let my hair down,
Yeah, is it the change? I think it's colors for you, dude. The way you wear your clothes. I keep on going to the way you wear your clothes, bro, because you have a stylish.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Persona.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, and you hit certain colors. I'm trying to figure out when he wears bright colors, something's going on.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna be aware of that. I've
so
never
when you
thought
see,
about that.
When you see our podcast, when you see Lewis in his blue jacket,
Oh, yeah.
you know it's
Yeah.
time for business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always know that.
And then when I have this is my letting my hair down?
I guess. I don't know.
We're still trying to figure it out, bro.
Okay, cool.
I'm
I'm
going
sure
to pick
we'll
on
figure
you.
it
I
out
just feel like you're
eventually.
going to the races today. So.
That's a good one. I love that.
But anyways, you said something interesting to me right now.
What was it?
You said we're taught from a young age to be strong
Yeah.
and not fear. But from my experience and what I want to talk to you guys about today isn't overcoming that fear what gives us strength?
Can I say something though? Before we
Yeah.
Wow, I love where you're going with it. I just look back. It's been almost a year that we've been having a conversation about, like, you guys realize we're here?
It's actually been a year, a couple weeks, right? Shy of a
Well, I
year.
mean,
Yeah.
we're already here,
We're
January 2021.
actually- yeah.
I want to have a conversation about that with you guys before we go there. But
Yes.
I mean, I want to ask you, how are you feeling right now that we're actually here? Because I'm having a hard time absorbing, like, we're here.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
You know, so it's got real, right?
See, she can't even put it into words.
Well, I'm going to put it into words, but I just want your permission one more time to get real.
Get real,
100%.
bro. Yeah.
For
Be
me,
raw.
this is where I belong with both of you right here. It's
Wow.
it's absorbed and it's transformed into reality because that's the way I live my life. Every moment leads to a destiny moment, and I think this is a destiny moment where we're going to be able to just be able to help so many people.
It's true.
And I'm just ready and willing just to get super real with each and every one of you.
Yeah, yeah. I have never been aligned with people that share a same common goal ever in my life. And it's a privilege to be here with you guys, first of all, because you take out the best of me. And I hope that I am able to do that to people that are listening. All of us, between all three of us, we will do that. Because I think we came to a point where we realized that in order for us to have gotten here, we had to have addressed the things that kept us from being here. We did it. We did it. We showed up. So I think we're at a point now where let's invite everyone else to show up.
Yeah.
We're calling you out right now.
Yeah.
We're calling you out. This is no excuses anymore. This is ground zero for us to really understand what this whole thing is about.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now I'm getting the flashbacks when we ran into each other at the NARP event, which Emilia didn't like me very much back then, right? That
The
first,
hater!
The first meeting, she wasn't a big
I
fan.
wasn't a hater. I was cautious of you.
Yeah, she was a little, yeah. But think we're past that now, right?
Yes, we've come past that.
Isn't it pretty cool though? I mean, to think back to then, we just bump into each other. I mean, quickly, it's like, I don't know, the way I feel about both of you is kind of like I've known you for a very, 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 very long time, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, we're actually here in the studio now. Like, I knew we wanted to, but who would ever thought? Like, I'm having a hard time putting into words because that's how freaking excited I am.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think people could understand this, what we have here, and that's the power of what we have and what people are going to experience. Is in life we find the moment where we find our best friends, right?
That's true.
And
That's
it
a good
usually
way to
happens
say
when
it.
we're in elementary school.
Absolutely.
When you find those 2 or 3, and they become your lifelong friends. And then after that, you get to high school, and friends just become a little bit more watered down, a little bit more, different, but
They go off on their own path.
It's never that tightness ever again.
Well-
And I thought that will never happen again. But here, what we have now, this is the first time in my life that I have that feeling again, that what I experienced back in 3rd grade.
Think about last night when we were on the phone. I think we were supposed to literally, it was a topic. We were supposed to just have a quick conversation. Did you guys realize how long we stayed on the phone?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I do.
I was
We interrupted her dinner, dude.
We did. But I was laughing this morning 'cause I'm like, how cool is that? Like instead of, okay, let's just talk about it and be done with it, it's literally like we can't stop and we can't shut up, and it's such a connection that we have with one another.
I feel, for me, I feel that way, Armani, but I feel like Lewis and yourself have become like additional brothers of mine.
Yeah.
And
put it.
it's so interesting because I know that when I'm in Lewis's office, he's like, oh, you're like the little sister I never had.
It's true.
And I kind of do the same thing with you in your office. And it just feels like I have these 2 brothers that have such a like mind.
Yeah.
But the greatest part is we've all walked such different paths. But it was all paths led to each other.
Yeah.
Do you want to share with our listeners how deep that goes, that you're upset at Armani and I recently because of something we did?
Yes, they went and bought. So I am not a gadget girl, but if they have it, I want it. And they just purchased a few things behind my back and then
Behind her back. bro.
Behind her back now.
So I just let my husband know to buy me a better one than you both have. So mine might take longer, but it will be better.
Oh, the challenge is on.
We
man.
got to ask your husband what that reaction was like when you found out that we went and ordered this stuff. I mean, I bring that up
You
because
don't
that's
have to
how
ask
close I
him.
guess we really have
guys,
become.
you don't have to ask him. I'll tell you. I'll say these.
The
guys.
nerve.
No, I said these guys. Can you believe this?
It wasn't my original idea, by the way.
Well,
I just did it.
okay.
I just did it.
Pass and pass. You get 2 guesses.
Okay, good. Thank you.
To
So we could put that behind us now.
To
I
get
had
it-
to get it out there right
to
now.
get
Okay,
a jail-free cards on that
Okay,
one.
cool.
Okay,
Good
all
to
right.
know.
That
All
means
right.
I have 2 in my pocket just in case I do the same to you.
Wow.
But no, I mean, you guys are just amazing people. And I think that, people here listening to the podcast are really going to have a true benefit from the experience that we all have in in growth, in business and success, in life,
Yeah.
and the journey in becoming professionals in our industry.
Yeah.
I'm
true.
so excited. I remember the day that it was in March, right when we were going through the thick of
Right when it started.
right when
We're
all
having
of
a
the quarantine
conversation
and
Patrick's
on
Day.
Zoom.
stay home and play.
It was,
shelter
wasn't it?
in
St.
place.
Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, that's true.
And we all met up and we said, what can we do to impact our generation in a positive way, understanding that we can't be close anymore.
It's true.
How do we help people? Because this is game day for us, you guys.
Yeah.
We've read the books, we went to the seminars, we've practiced what we've preached. This is game day. To every person that has ever taught us anything in our life, right now is game time.
It is.
And in the future, you're going to be able, in shows to come, you're going to be able to see George Morris and John Syatt speak.
Yeah, I'm
And the
looking forward to
and
that
the things
for sure.
that they've taught us.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what they have to say when they're standing here
With
us and Got Real.
Yeah.
But this is game time. So buckle up or suit up and
Fasten your seatbelts.
fasten your seatbelts, whatever you want. If you're a race car person, if you're a sports person, get ready because we're here to win this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely,
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
excited.
Absolutely.
So how do we open this up? What do we say that people are really going through right now?
Emilia hit the nail on the head earlier on, and it's that word, fear.
Yeah.
And strength. Be strong.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
Yeah.
Don't fear.
Pick yourself up. Keep
But-
going.
In some essences, how do you do that? Because I think there's
Great
a
question.
lot behind fear. It's one of the smaller words, but it's one of the largest words that holds us back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Armani.
Well, I think with fear, I think everyone would probably agree that since we were kids, we've been taught that, for example, in grade school, there's grading A through F. You better not come home with an F. They already started judging you back then, not to that fear of getting that. And as we go through growing up in life, we apply that because that's what we learned from being young, and we apply it to different aspects of our lives. And now it becomes to where we're trained in a way to see it that way. And sometimes people are challenging to the fear. They will counter it. They will say, I'm not going to let that keep me from doing what I need to do. Or they use that and they gravitate towards something else that prevents them from getting to where they need to go. They get comfortable. They get comfortable. For me, for example, I'm working on my health, right? So working on my health, I could say, you know what, I could be all out and go at it and do what I need to do to get to where I need to go. Or I'm afraid of it. I am afraid of changing my comfort. I am afraid of failing because I know it's going to be a hard thing to do,
Absolutely.
you know? But you have to break it. And I think that's where I want to talk about is how do we break it? How do we look at ourselves and say, look, you've been through this every single time you've tried and you failed. What's going to make it different now?
So can I ask you something on that?
yeah.
Because I think when we've had this conversation, but I mean, I can relate with you there.
Yeah.
But something happened that caused you to make that decision where you say you're working on your health.
Yeah.
I mean, for anyone that's listening in and tuning in with us right now, I mean, what happened with you and how did you make that choice? Why is the health important now? Like, how did you overcome that?
To me, I think the health came from looking at my daughter. And being in control to know that I want to be there all the way through
Wow.
to as long as I could get. My goal is obviously like any other father's goal is to walk her daughter down the aisle. Maybe see a child or two.
Yes.
Those things. I never thought about that before she came into my life. I didn't.
Wow. That's big.
I didn't. And when that happens, it makes you reflect. Obviously, you know, the taste buds that we have, the gift of having taste buds is such an awesome thing in life. All of us agree to that. We love that experience. But it comes to a point now where too much of anything is not good for you. Right? So you start looking at it a different way because you're starting to pay attention to things that you didn't pay attention to before. Why does that happen though? Why do I pay attention to that? Why do we pay attention to that?
Can I just interject really quickly?
Thank you for sharing that. That's wow.
I love that moment when you said your daughter and walking her down the aisle. I've been married for 17 months now. Thank you. I have a picture from my wedding day, and it's my dad walking me up the stairs down the aisle, because to get to the altar I had to walk up the stairs. And there I am, and I'm taller than him in this picture now, and he's trying to help me up the stairs as I walk towards my husband. And that picture meant so much to me, because he used to talk about that when he was your age and I was Sophia's age, being a 8-year-old little girl, and I'm gonna walk you down the aisle one day. And I'm gonna post this picture when we launch this show. And there's so much love and there's so much trust in this picture. And it's all wrapped up into goals and aspirations. So it's those defining moments that you say, I'm gonna walk my daughter down the aisle. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be here for those moments. Yeah. What are the moments that define your life to overcome your fears? Yeah. It's amazing, and I can't wait to go to Sophia's wedding. And
I'm going to DJ the wedding, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Lewis, you're going to be there too.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, maybe I can MC it, but I won't
Yes,
be
you
DJing
can.
it.
We can all. Yeah. I'll save me some money.
Exactly. I love it.
Funny.
Oh,
I love it. But God, Armani, thank you for sharing
thank you
that.
for
That
sharing
was
that.
a beautiful moment. Too.
Well, I look at it as a timestamp for me, right? I've openly said what I'm dealing with, and I know a lot of people out there are doing the same thing right now, especially
Absolutely.
at this time that we're in, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to when we get to episode 20, episode 30, and just kind of maybe see what's going on.
The timestamps.
Yeah.
I'm glad we actually recorded our conversation. If you guys remember, when we first were talking about the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
We have it, so
lockdown.
we would have
Total
played that
lockdown.
down
Yeah.
the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that should be a nice bonus.
Part of the
clip.
timeline, part of
for
the
somebody.
timestamp.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
So I'm curious. I'm going to look straight at you, Lewis. What is Armani said it's his health that propelled him to overcome and overcome.
To address it and to grasp it and to deal with it.
What has been something in this year that you've really maybe struggled with and overcome? Maybe you're still going through it. Let's get real with our listeners and say, would you be willing to share that?
I mean, definitely health. Yeah, it's definitely been the health. As you know, right now, I'm going through a bit of a little cancer issue, right? And, those thoughts kind of start creeping in, but it goes back to what you just shared. There's so much there to live for.
Absolutely.
So much there to live for. My family, things I want to see through. And I say to myself, there's so many unfinished goals. It's that will to live. There's just so much unfinished business and so many lives that I personally want to touch. I always say you got to be the change you want to see in the world, right? And that's what's driving me to keep pushing forward. And I think of my girls, I think of my wife, my parents. And I say, no, heck no, it's not my time yet. I got so much more to live for still. I mean, do I have my moments where you kind of start wandering off? But it's keeping your I don't even want to say the eye on the prize. It's just everything that's important to me that I love. That's my goal.
Yeah.
And I got to see it through. I know it's not my time. No, it's not my time.
Yeah.
The man upstairs is the one that's going to say it's that time. But while I'm here, I'm going to live.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you have our...
Oh, thank you. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to see you overcome this challenge, and we're all here. We're locking arms, and we're going to make sure that life is your prize. And
that's why we're here. I mean, we want to help
Absolutely.
others, because I say to myself, it could be so much worse. Unfortunately, there's so many people right now going through so much worse.
Yeah.
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 There's so many blessings, so many good things in our lives that we don't even focus on that. We focus on all the the little things.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing, we have a roof over our head, clothes on our back, right? Food on the table, people that love us, that embrace us, that support us so much there. And we should be focused on that instead of all the other little things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you find it, guys, that and the public could probably relate to this as well, as we've experienced this last year and this whole uncertainty that we're going through?
2020.
Yeah. I look back. I like to reflect and everything, but I decided to look at it in a different aspect, and that is exactly what you touched on. The things that made me that are different this year, but actually made me realize what I was forgetting about.
Big.
That to me hit me, and it hit me during the holidays, because normally you get together with so many people, family, friends, and you party, you go out, whatever, and it ended up being just my wife and my daughter.
Yes.
Never in my life has that ever happened. Not even with my parents. It's always people around. And it ended up being one of the most memorable moments of my life, because it was just us. We did things, we talked about things, we got to know each other a little bit better. We joked around. It just became a different experience. And I think a lot, if we take that same lens and look at everything else that we went through, I'm sure we could find the things that really made us better people.
Yeah.
And we're going to be better on the other side.
Oh, I agree.
Well
And
said.
I challenge everyone listening, take that lens. I'm giving it to you virtually right now. Just put it on. I'll give you my glasses. And look at it, and I guarantee you, you're gonna put a smile on your face. You will.
Can
True.
I share something with you guys in that aspect? Do you know 2020 was the worst and the best year of my life, all wrapped up into one? My biggest fear was to lose my mom. I dwelled on it on a daily basis. And later on in shows to come, we'll talk a little bit more of why that was so predominant. And 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, my mom has a stroke. We don't know if she's going to live. No control over that. Did I have control to say she's going to come? She's going to be good? No control. That was the beginning. I've struggled with health issues my entire life for 20 years. 2020, those health issues because of natural medicine are gone. Are 100% gone. I have been told for the last 20 years that they don't know my time span here on earth. They don't know. It could be today, it could be tomorrow. That's what I would get told every time I went to the doctor. Those issues are 100% gone. Something I wouldn't even think of being gone. Do you know how excited I am right now?
You're light as a feather. Right
I
now.
feel like I have
you've seen
to
the difference in her for
make
sure.
up for lost time.
Yeah.
There is so much lost time that I'm trying to make up for. And maybe I want to bring us into our next kind of topic here. I've been challenged with, besides doctors and medical experts understanding what was holding me back and understanding that, I might not be here for the long run, living life in a short span, very quick, very fast, very expensive, because you never know. So just live it quick and expensive. This year, I've really tried to understand what has held me back. And it's unconscious fear that has held me back. After digging super, super deep, what has held me back? Not the health issues that I developed from a car accident. The adults, specifically one adult. I'm going to get super real with you all right now.
Throw it.
I had a Thea growing up that decided to tell me everything she felt about me from the age of, probably about the age of 3. Maybe 5 if I'm being generous. And those comments would ring in my head ever so slightly. In everything I bought, and everything I did, and everything I didn't do. In every challenge where I didn't get up on a podium and speak what was on my heart to help people. Those small comments would ring in my ear. Until now. I feel so free from those comments, from that dismay, that misunderstanding of not being enough. I'm a pretty confident woman. For anybody who knows me and who's gotten to know me, I've been in pageant after pageant, and I've created a lot of businesses in my life. Yeah. So I've looked very confident, but there was that sense of inconfidence, the unconfident nature that I had deep within me that was holding me back. Now I'm like, come on, world, here I am. I put all of that at the wayside. And how many of our listeners, and maybe even both of you, have unconscious fears? Let's talk
Before
about
we
that.
go there, though,
Yeah.
I got to ask you, though, how did you get through that? What happened? Like, how did you push through that?
I think it was the breaking point of her mocking me about a year ago and standing up to her and saying, you don't matter.
Wow.
And I've come from a Latin background where you respect your elders, you don't speak ill will, you come from a place of respect. But I think respect is reciprocal.
It's earned.
It's earned. And to understand that you're being disrespected and stand up for yourself. In the movie theater of my life, the audience stood up and applauds because at that point I took my life back.
Good for you.
And I said, no, people deserve to be in the presence of people who will welcome them.
Yeah.
And everyone else can fall to the wayside. And it's okay to cut people off. It's okay to cut out negativity in your life, even if it's hard, because I'm not going to say it wasn't hard. I'm not going to say it's still not hard. But understanding that it's okay to not be okay with someone, to not be okay with someone's comment, to not be okay with being treated a certain way. Because in that essence, you are being true to that one person that truly matters. And that can make a difference. And you can make a difference in your own life. You have control over that. And that's what I gained control over that day. And maybe it's the reason that I went after answers that people told me I could never have. People said I would never be better. You will always have this. But I don't take no for an answer now.
Yeah.
Because there was an answer and it took 90 days.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's
You challenged it. You challenged it. You weren't afraid of it. And now you're on the other side of that.
Oh, happy
yeah,
day.
yes, that's huge.
Don't get me started singing because I know.
Yes, that's what we started singing before the.
Have you yourself ever? Can you relate?
Challenging fear. I think for me, I think I look back at the moments in my life that were pivotal, and that changed my direction where I was going. And the fear of not being accepted was probably in that list. I remember as growing up, my mom and dad, they always treat me. They were really great parents. I love my mom and dad, and they taught me certain things. And one of the things they taught me was, we didn't have great income, my mom and dad, right? So we were on the lower end scale. But they always taught me one thing is always present your best foot forward, no matter how much money you have in your bank account. In other words, if I had one pair of pants, I would wash it that night so it would be clean the next day. Always show that does not define who you are, right? Yeah. But growing up as a kid, you don't know that yet. And you go thinking that you're not going to be accepted because of those situations that you may be going through. And it took me a while to understand that. And not until I became a young adult and I started challenging some of the fears of worrying about what people were thinking about me, and it gravitated to when I got into the businesses that I am now, where I grew up listening to hip hop music. My thing was I wanted to be in the music industry, producing or whatever. That was my goal. Things changed in that road, and other opportunities opened up. Great opportunities opened up for me. And as I became into my second chapter of my life, I kind of separated myself for who I was because of that fear of acceptance. So if I am in my business world, little did anyone know who I was before, what I did, that I loved Public Enemy and KRS-One and Biggie Smalls and all that stuff, right?
It's awesome.
And it took me about 10 years. This is from I think in 2005 or 6 that it hit me and said, I don't need to be a different Armani. Why should I change for the sake of getting a paycheck? Why should I change for getting accepted in a world that is still somewhat foreign to me?
Yeah.
But why do I have to change to get accepted? I'm not. From that moment on, everything lined up to who I am right now. I am that 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I'm just wearing a suit right now,
Yeah.
right? So that is what the message that I say with that. And I hope everyone understands that. Don't worry about who you are. Be proud of
Who you are.
Be proud of who you are.
Wow. Yeah.
That's it.
It's interesting you bring that up, how we try to please others so much. I don't know if I've shared this with both of you, but as you guys know, I have a corporate background, right? Me transitioning into what my career is now, real estate, it was a very rough landing for me, where the public might have viewed me as unstable because I was bouncing from company to company. I would worry so much what people would think. But little did they know there was something specific that I was looking for in my career.
Yes.
And what was behind that's to be able to provide for my family, right? And a vehicle to help me achieve my goals. But it would keep me from thriving. It would keep me from moving forward, because every time I was going to make a decision, I would always say to myself, what would people think?
Yes.
What are people going to think? What are people going to think? Finally, I got to a point where, you know what? Enough is enough. People can think whatever they want to think.
Yes.
You don't know what's going on here. You don't know what's going on in my heart, my being, and my mind.
Yes.
And what's my reasoning behind it. But if anyone find themselves at that point right now, you can't live to please others. No. And it goes back to what you just said. Embrace yourself, accept yourself, and love yourself for who you are.
Yeah.
And if people don't understand it, that's okay. Yeah. Goes back to, you can only control what you can control, and that's yourself. Yeah.
That's it, man.
It's nail, head, done. I mean, how many of us, when you're talking, you guys aren't even ready for this one.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Let me get a little.
Yeah, let me drink a little bit
I
of water.
wish there was
on that
more
one.
than water in these cups at this point. But I have to share this because it goes so deep. And we see people who are trying to, probably listening right now, you're trying to get to the next level in your career, in your business, in your job, wherever it is. But there's barriers that we've set for ourselves.
Self-imposed, for sure.
Absolutely. I've set a persona. Because my name is what? Armani, what's my name?
Millions?
Oh, no. What's my name?
No, her real name,
No,
not the
what's-
nickname.
What's my name? What do I go by?
You just gave her
Emilia
nickname
Marie.
away.
I go by Emilia Marie.
Yeah.
So I work in the real estate industry. And everybody knows me by Emilia Marie.
Yeah.
Does anybody know why I don't have a last name?
That's a great question.
No,
No,
that is a great question.
I don't.
Inquiring minds want to know.
At one point, I thought Marie was her last name.
Most people do.
Yeah.
Most people do, and it's my marketing name and it's my legal name. I don't have a last name because of clients. Because in my early days as a businesswoman, people would say, so you're Mexican. So you're Latin. So what nationality are you? And I would lose deals because of my nationality. I have dark hair and pretty white skin. So I don't really look a nationality. And it came to a breaking point when I got called a Chihuahua in a listing appointment that I said, you know what, enough is enough. I went to my broker and I said, do I have to use my last name anymore? And he said, no. And I said, okay, fine. It's done. Because that almost took me out of my business.
Whoa.
Because there was something I couldn't control.
Yeah.
And that's people's perception of me. And so that's why I don't have a last name. And I've created a persona where that doesn't matter anymore. But that was my beginning effect. That was holding me back. So when you say people's perception of you is important, Yes, it's important because we're raised to understand that that's an important thing. But don't let the challenges of those things stop you. I'm not saying take away your last name, because this year my marketing will have a different name. Just waiting for the courthouse to open. I mean, if we're going to be honest, I'm going by my married name now.
Yes.
And I'm waiting for that. But I kind of felt bad for Emilia Marie, because I said, nobody knows the real reason why. And it's been questioned many times. Yeah. I probably will still use that as a marketing name just because it's there.
Well, it has a meaning now.
It does. It has a meaning.
Yeah, it's become its own persona. In a way.
It has. It really has. And it's like, oh, turn on Emilia Marie. But it's those little things that we don't understand as we're building our businesses, as we're building our success. Those roadblocks that we've had to overcome. And I try not to get emotional when I talk about that, but I remember it was a hard moment, because it was pretty affluent clients that told me that.
Yeah.
I got to ask you something with that. And I have this conversation with our agents all the time. Whatever happened to your worth? Like where is enough? Like when is enough enough? Like why put up with that? I mean, think about it. We're independent entrepreneurs, but it's pretty amazing to see how we get lost and we like lose our worth, and we put up with that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, when is enough enough? Like, I'm curious. I mean, how did you handle that situation right there? I mean, like calling you that. And I'm talking about like standing up for yourself, because I'm sure we've all experienced some kind of scenario like that.
Absolutely.
But when do you stand up for yourself and say, you know what, enough is enough? Like, I don't have to deal with that BS.
To tell you the truth, Louis, I guess it starts right now. I guess just hearing you say that, when is enough enough? Yeah. When is enough enough of, and they become the roadblocks that stop us. So now is the enough time. It's enough. It was enough time for me to say, you know what, this is what it is. We're getting welcomed into our viewers' homes. Yeah. I want them to know me through and through, because I'm giving them my hand and saying, come with us. We can show you the way to overcome fear, overcome obstacles, and lead you into success. So here I am, open-hearted. This is what I've been challenged with. And if it's similar, let's work through it together, or learn from my mistakes and don't go through the same thing.
Which is why we're here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why this moment is so special.
It is.
It really
because
is.
And literally, everything happened a year ago to this point, maybe for you to experience that right now.
I know.
And
crazy.
The person that's listening to us or watching us on YouTube is feeling that same moment right now, that's going to transcend to domino affecting whoever else is listening.
I mean, you hear that? It's like, screw that. That's BS.
Nah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think we all will say that we've been through that in one way or another.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. I have my stories like that. But I think what we're trying to aim at now is kick all that to the curb.
Absolutely.
Let people judge me for who I am, what I bring to the table, how I take care of you, how I listen to you if you're going through situations, and how the respect is not just given, it's earned.
Absolutely.
That's it. You know?
What's pretty awesome, because I mean, we've gotten to know you pretty well, and I got to tell you, it's admirable and very respectful to see how far you've come. And I mean, I'm just finding out some of these things just now.
Yeah.
But it's very admirable, and like, good for you.
It's my intent to be as real as possible here, because the value that you bring, and I bring myself. Yeah. I want our viewers to understand they're not alone.
No.
They're not alone in any situation that they might feel held back in, whether it be the person they're looking back at them in the mirror, the person they listen to. You know, we talked about public speaking earlier.
How people rather die than speak in public.
Exactly. Those are fears that hold them back. And like I said, real estate industry, you're presenting all day long. I work with an amazing group of people that, you know, I admire so much. They have challenges every day of speaking in public, being viewed. Be embraced. Know that we embrace you.
Yeah.
I can't wait for our listeners to see our next episode.
Can't wait to
know when you said that right now, with what we know of them, like, wow.
You know, we have a phone. So I can't
Yes, we
wait till
do.
we start utilizing it and actually having people
Having you call in, you can call
I
in.
think that's gonna be like that's gonna be next level stuff.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, here we're here to help you in any way that we can.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to put this out to, you listening and watching us. Ask us questions.
Anything.
We'll
We're
be there
open
to
books.
answer them. And even the most bizarre things that have halted you in your life, one of us three have some pretty wild backgrounds. I'm sure we've either done it,
Weren't we just talking about that a little while ago before
Done
we
it.
all of us
started?
do. I think all of
We
us
do.
Yeah.
been there,
we
done
do.
that.
We're
bought
far
the
from
t-shirt
perfect.
Yeah.
And
Far
the
from
keychain.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's all gonna come out. It's all gonna come out.
Oh gosh.
It's gonna get real.
Looking forward to it.
Get
Looking
ready.
forward to
man.
it.
I am.
Yeah. But it's gonna be cool hanging out with our people, our viewers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing I want
exciting.
to ask our viewers, since they're experiencing this for the first
Absolutely.
time, is we're it's going to be an exciting road, and you're gonna see and you're gonna experience growth throughout this process. But I want to ask, if you're watching this through our certain social channels, specifically YouTube, we're looking for likes. We're looking for subscribing to our channel.
Yes.
Right. If we get 100 likes at least, we could get our custom domain on YouTube. That's the goal right now.
Okay.
So let's start small.
Okay.
And let's work forward. So anywhere, if you're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, like what we're doing, but subscribe on the channels that you can.
And make sure you turn on your notifications.
Yes,
You definitely
yes.
want to
Yes.
know when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Let's
the challenge
go.
is on.
I've been ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, don't threaten me with a good time.
All right.
I love it. Well, get ready because it's about to get real.
Boom.
Awesome.
Vámonos.
It's cool hanging out with you
right,
guys.
guys.
Looking
Yes.
forward
Let's
to
do
it.
it.
Awesome.
And just to let our listeners know, our very, very special guest on our next
Oh, yes.
on our next episode is, I mean, for me, I'm going to say it, one of the greatest public speakers that I've ever listened to, and I've heard some really great ones, Mr. George Morris.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ton of insight,
Yes.
amazing corporations that he's built, and just a center of light, influence, and love. I mean, this is one you will not want to miss. So make sure to push subscribe. Also, we have John Syatt. And if you've ever heard anybody tell
John's
an
amazing.
inspirational story, you want more. Like, it's like rewind because I don't want this to end.
Yeah.
When he's talking about his story, very similar, to yours, Armani, how he came from, and I won't ruin it for everybody, but
No, yeah.
came from, really humble beginnings and has built just an empire.
Two
It is
very humble men.
very,
for
very
sure.
humble. Listen to these stories. We look forward to the journey. I look forward to the journey with both of you.
Same
I'm
here,
excited.
guys.
And with our listeners, because it's going to be a real special experience.
I agree. I
I
agree.
can't wait to grow. And I can't wait to look lighter in about 20 episodes. Let's go there.
I'm going
I
to be
love
right
it.
there with you.
I love it.
I love
it. Well, I guess it's goodbye for now.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon. And
Sucks that we have to end. This is like so.
I know. I hate this, but the greatest part is we will see you on the other
It's
side.
not goodbye. We'll
no,
see you.
we'll see you soon.
See
But
you soon.
I think we're going to see a lot of the people on the other side of success as well.
Yes.
So
We'll
in
go to the
closing,
top together.
absolutely.
There you go.
We'll see you on the other side of success. Be
Awesome.
well,
Talk to you guys soon.
and
Let's
we'll
go.
see you soon.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
go.